Hello, today we're going to be talking about a beginner's guide to Magic the Gathering. So here we have, first of all we're going to talk about the areas of a battlefield. So here is your deck. Your deck is the most important part of your game. A deck is made up of 60 cards. It can be any of the 5 colours, and that's blue, black, red, white and green. So at the beginning of the game, you would draw 7 cards. Well, you would shuffle first. You would then offer your opponent to cut your deck and draw 7 cards. The areas of a battlefield, so deck, where you would put your land, is this section here. You would then put creatures and other permanents in this area here. Your graveyard is behind your deck here. You would set instants and sorceries after they've been used behind here. Your opponent would sit opposite you, and their battlefield would be exactly the same as yours, but just opposite. Okay, so now we're going to move on to creatures. So every single creature will have a mana cost. So if you see here in the top corner, this mana cost is 2 forests, which is 2 green mana. So you need 2 lands that generate green mana to cast Strangleroot Geist. Here is the power and toughness. So the first number is the power, so that is the amount of damage that the Strangleroot Geist can deal to an opposing player or to an opposing creature. This 1 here is the amount of damage it can take before it is killed and sent to the graveyard here. So Strangleroot Geist can deal 2 damage and take 1 damage. But wait, it's not a vanilla card, which is a card without any other abilities, and has these abilities. So Haste is a standard ability throughout Magic the Gathering, and it allows a card to attack. It allows a creature to attack or tap the turn it comes in. The turn it is played, because usually cards can't do that because of a thing called summoning sickness. So it's like you're arriving at a restaurant and you decide to sit down before you order your food, and so you'll get it's Magic's way of your army getting prepared. Undying is an ability which is particular to the set Innistrad, which will be going out of standard soon, and usually these abilities that are set specific have reminder text on them. So Undying, when it dies, it'll come back with a +1/+1 counter on it. And that is, well, that's Strangleroot Geist. The other abilities says it's a creature, what type of creature it is, so this is a spirit, and the other symbol is what set it's from. That is important for standard, and what rarity it is. And Strangleroot Geist is uncommon. Alright, so if we have a look at another 2 cards, they are both from the Return to Ravnica block, but this is a Dragon's Maze card, this is a Gatecrash card. They are both of the Simic, and they are both rather strange things. So both of these cards are 3 mana, as you can see. This one is a 1/3, and this one is a 2/1. Battering Crassus, this card, has Trample. So whenever it deals enough damage to kill a blocking creature, it will trample over, it will stamp over the guy with its power here, and that damage will be dealt to either the opponent or a planeswalker they control. With Croconura, he is a 1/3 with Reach, so it's quite simple. He can block creatures with flying, but he doesn't have flying himself. Both of these creatures have Evolve, so when a creature bigger than them in either power or toughness enters the battlefield, they are given a +1/+1 counter on them, and that is card specific to the Simic Guild. So let's get rid of them. So let's have a look at some red land. So there are the 5 types of basic land. You're allowed any number of basic land in your deck. Other than basic land, you are only allowed 4 lands of, no, sorry, not lands, 4 cards of the same name in your deck. So you're only allowed, say, 4 Strangleroot Geist, the card you saw earlier. So to add mana to your mana pool, you would turn a land on its side, like so, and this would generate this 1 red mana on 1 red mana to your mana pool, which can then be used to cast spells. Like this, when a creature decides to attack, you turn it on its side and you attack your opponent like so. Now we're going to move on to non-permanent. So everything that stays on the battlefield is called a permanent. Everything that doesn't is not called a permanent, it's called a non-permanent. So the card we're going to be having a look at is Doomblade. Doomblade is currently not in Standard, but is being reprinted in M14. Doomblade, you can see, is a 2 mana black instant. It requires 1 black mana and 1 generic mana. You can see that it doesn't have a power and toughness because it's not a creature. Doomblade is an instant, so it can be played at any time, and its ability is to destroy target non-black creature. So, say your opponent had a Croconura. You tap a black mana and a red mana, say, and you Doomblade your opponent's Croconura. Your Doomblade will then go to your graveyard, and their Croconura will go to theirs. If you attempted to do a Doomblade onto, say, this wolf token, let's sort the camera out. So you go to Doomblade the wolf token, you actually can't because it is a non-black creature, and this wolf, as you can see from the artwork, is black. Okay, these are the very basic rules of Magic the Gathering. There will be some slightly more difficult rules to come, so please subscribe and give me your feedback. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.